morning, Buenos días, Guten Morgen, Good morning, Hyvää, huomenta, Annyeonghaseyo, and Kalimera, everybody. No matter how you say it in your own native language, a simple good morning is the beginning of every conversation, of every connection. And this is at the core of today's episode, the voice of connection, and especially how AI is learning to speak with empathy, intelligence, and collaboration in order to solve real problems for humans effectively. Welcome to Voice AI Insights, a special Kalimera.ai podcast series where we explore the future of voice AI and how voice AI and multi-agent systems are transforming the way we communicate, we collaborate, and we do business. I'm your host, Chryssa Skodra, and today we'll dive deep into this exciting topic together with two distinguished guests. These are my guests for today. I'll bring them into the studio, Mr. George Chalkiadakis, the CEO and co-founder of Kalimera.ai, and Professor George Polyzos. Professor George Polyzos joins me from China, George Chalkiadakis from Greece, and I myself in Finland. We are an international setup today. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me.
Kalimera.
Kalimera, good morning. So we will start the discussion with George Chalkiadakis. Professor Polyzos will join us in segments 3, so stay tuned because he is a brilliant mind, a scientist, a computer scientist who has a lot of insights to share with us. Is that right?
Yes.
I'll see you shortly. We'll start the conversation with George Chalkiadakis. Mr. Chalkiadakis, you have an exciting background as well. You are an established and accomplished entrepreneur. You have a couple of successful exits in your track record, an extensive career and expertise in artificial intelligence before it started becoming popular. And you have multiple degrees, academic degrees, as well as certifications in computer science, advanced AI technologies. You're a man that understands both the academic, the research world, but also the business application. You're the CEO and co-founder of Kalimera.ai, and you specialize in multi-agent systems. But Dr. Polyzos will open this topic later on in our podcast. So stay tuned, everybody, wherever you're watching us from. If you're interested in the topic, we have two people who really understand the science and the technical side of things, as well as the business applications and innovation. So, George, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit how voice AI has evolved from the early days to where we are today.
So probably you have multiple times called the bank and it was asking you press 1, press 2, press 3, and then you were appointed to an attendant, and gradually you have noticed that you started speaking and some part of your conversation was able to understand it. And that ongoing evolution became a revolution nowadays, because with a combination of a lot of technologies related with speech-to-text, LLMs, text-to-speech, noise cancellation, hallucination controls, and a lot of other more technical stuff, we have managed not only to be able to answer, but to create something called a digital twin of the assistants and be able to start answering to real questions and getting real-time data. So, for example, if you say, I have a problem with my kidney, it will understand and will appoint to a proper doctor, where usually in the old days, you should have pre-thought what your customer is going to ask. So that evolution, and especially technology which is called multi-agent model AI, yes, mama, which is inbuilt within Kalimera.ai, give us the ability to dynamically connect the knowledge from various systems.
For the listeners and viewers out there who are not familiar yet with Kalimera.ai, tell us a little bit about what is Kalimera.ai. You sort of touched upon this, but give us a little bit how the company was founded, what problems are you sort of touched upon, where you're committed in your mission to solve, and how you jumped on your current role.
So our journey starts almost 2.5 years ago, where a small team in MIT, we have taken the challenge to make a political campaign using AI technologies, and that's generate the idea that AI is very powerful in communication. It is a communication tool. And gradually we understood that we have started with the so-called chatbots, but we really understood it in a way that the thing that gives an absolute value is communication through phone and voice, which is a very challenging thing. And Kalimera.ai is right now a leading platform, which is expanding globally. We have offices in Cyprus, Greece, Ahmedabad, and sales offices in Dubai, Prague, and New York, and we are expanding. We have reached almost 27 different partners, and we are creating everyday live solutions from simple call centers, which we provide in healthcare, banking, finance, insurance companies, collections, and more, or more complex things like, let's say, solutions that we are proposing to governmental bodies and others, like, let's say, create an evacuation plan. In case of an earthquake, an AI agent can call you and give you exact direction, separate for its personnel, where it should go, what measures to take, or notify for his condition. So AI is really reshaping all the way that we are addressing our customers.
Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit, you talk about Kalimera.ai as a platform with a lot of products. One of the most famous, the infrastructure where this everything is starting is MyBody.ai, right? Tell us a little bit, why is it so easy is it a easy no-code AI platform? What is the benefits of MyBody.ai?
The benefit of MyBody is the company that has created Kalimera.ai, and the benefit of Kalimera.ai is that we have hidden all that complexity, so you don't need to know 14,000 models, and you don't need to have a series of programs to plug it. You can do it yourself. Right now, we have addressed enterprises and we have production solutions, and we are focusing by February to provide that fantastic solution with only 3 clicks to everyone. So imagine you are a plumber, you are a dentist, you're a lawyer, and you don't have a secretary, but you really need them because you receive a lot of calls which you are missing, and you're missing your appointments. Yes, you will be able in 3 clicks to do it and address all the markets in 67 languages, just Greek.
And here I have this graph here. You touched upon the problems. So tell us a little bit the unique selling propositions of Kalimera.ai and all the benefits that come with the problems that you aim at solving.
So depending on the sector that you are addressing, there are different types of, let's say, benefits. So in some sectors, the benefit is to be available and answer all calls. So let's say you have a fire coming to your place. How many calls are going to receive the police or let's say, the energy providers? And how many they are able to address? We can address instantly more than 2 million calls. Mm-hmm. And that's the beauty of it. And the other thing is, so you don't need to care about availability. You don't need to care that you are losing calls. Or let's say that you are handling that. How well is your personnel educated? How really you can control what they are saying? And let's say, have you found which words are increasing the customer satisfaction or decreasing the customer satisfaction? And in some other cases, the benefit has to do not only with the availability of the phone lines that's always available, but let's say how many languages you can speak. Let's say typical human cannot speak more than 4 languages. We are speaking 67 languages. So let's say, for example, in Athens, we have a lot of Israelis, we have a lot of Arabs, we have a lot of Scandinavians coming. How many services are ready to address all that multilingual customer base? Probably we are saying only in English, but English is one small part of the real world.
I heard this summer a demo of Kalimera.ai, and I was impressed of how realistic, how I pride myself in being able to distinguish between AI, but I had a difficulty really saying that this was not a human at the other end of the call. So I was very, very impressed, and I've shared this with everybody. I've spoken about Kalimera.ai, how authentic and human and fast. When you talk and interact with other voice AI systems, perhaps the time or the tone, something is off. You feel like, hey, a human wouldn't respond to you in that way. How important is this from the solution that you're offering, the multi-agent infrastructure that really gives this unique, authentic connection?
Yes, we are investing a lot in speech talents. So that we are not just addressing the language. So give me 50 hours of recordings and I can create you any language. And that's one unique technology that we have. But to be able to understand, let's say, different variation of the language. So, for example, we are the only solution worldwide that can understand Cypriot. Yes, Cypriots are Greek, but believe me, if you put 11 Labs or other type of competitors, they wouldn't understand even 10% of what they say. And we are doing that not only in the language variation, but also in the business variation. So let's say we are one of the few that can really understand, let's say, social insurance numbers as 13 straight numbers. It's very, very difficult. Emails, phone numbers. So for us, it's not only about languages and variation of the language and how authentic it is, but it's to be able to address real business need, which is, let's say, in the end, that's the absolute value. So the language and the variation of the language is a good starting point. Yes, yesterday we have released 67 languages. So if you get the global map, we support now all North and South America. We are supporting all Europe. Yes, including Maltese. We have just made it yesterday. Yes, including Hebrew. We have just yesterday made. We are supporting more than 9 variations of Arabics, and countries like India, which they are speaking 29 languages with more than 600 variations. We have addressed 14 of those languages and more than 200 variations of the Hindis, which is big. So, for example, right now we are ready to run a project in Nigeria with something called PG English, which is really not English. So the language and the voice, it's something that's continuous. It needs, yes, great investments. We are collaborating with a lot of companies around the globe. We are creating our own models. And yes, it's something that continues. We are investing on that. And the great thing is that as soon as you start speaking with us and that, let's say, great conversation, it helps us improve even our speech without stealing your voice or without stealing your data.
Tell us a little bit, because you have a great scientific background as well. You visit, you travel around the world, you speak to people from all walks of life, you read the research, you talk with your people, your teams around the globe and scientists. What are the trends that you see in the horizon for the next 5 to 10 years when we talk about AI communication in general, and then in particular voice AI? What's trending at the moment, and you have with your team your eyes on those developments?
I don't know for 5 years, because 5 years for AI, it's more than 10,000 years in every other life. But I can say in the next 4 months, we say that the existing models are becoming too heavy and quite inefficient. Check, for example, GPT-5. It doesn't present better results. And a lot of other guys right now are really beating them. So the idea that we came and we have used in practice, it is a multi-agent model AI. Why? Because that we believe that the AI is missing something that DeepSeek already have started investing in that, a router to understand where we should collect the information and how to combine. We are real-time using that. So whenever you speak, everybody thinks that we are using just one STT. In reality, we are using more than 40 different STTs. We are using more than 20 different LLMs models in the same times, and we are using multiple TTS. And we have created the so-called router, which evaluates with fuzzy logic and selects for the specific thing what's the proper output we should use. And that's what makes us unique. So, for example, when you started saying your surname and your first name, we are using totally different infrastructure, let's say model infrastructure behind it, from using your, let's say, phone number or cellular number. And when you are speaking in Greek, it's totally different than when you are speaking in English. And that's what makes us unique, the ability, which in practice we have seen that you cannot have one model answering everything. It's impossible. It will never work. You should be able to address it with distributed multi-models design. And in practice, we have done that. And that's what makes us globally unique.
That leads me in. You said the multimodal design, and just in time, I'd like to welcome Professor George Polyzos in the studio. George, if you excuse me, George Chalkiadakis, thank you for your insights. I bring you back for the conclusion, the final word. So stay tuned, everybody. George is coming here again, but I'd like to highlight Professor George Polyzos now. Professor Polyzos, tell us a little bit. George touched upon the future of AI and the importance of multi-agent model AI frameworks. Tell us a little bit about the unique research you've been doing and the applications, and allow me for everybody listening and watching out there to say a couple of words about you before you start tackling the question. You are a teacher, a researcher, a scientist. I know that you don't want to brag, but rumor has it, and my insights tell me that you are an amazing person, amazing, brilliant mind. You have a background in electrical engineering from the University of Athens in Greece, a master's degree, a PhD in computer science from the University of Toronto. You lived abroad. You have been a professor in the States and the University of California in San Diego. In many, you're affiliated with many high prestigious institutions around the world. You're teaching AI, you have developed AI assistants, you are publishing research on the hot topic of multi-agent AI, also together with George Chalkiadakis, who was just with us in the studio, and Shuven Liu. So tell us a little bit why you're so excited about this topic, multi-agent model AI framework. What excites you about this?
Well, thank you very much, Chryssa, for the good words and the introduction. Let me start by saying that I also believe that a voice-based user interface is becoming really important in future systems. And in AI, getting the information in multi-modes, multimedia formats is really important, and actually process it all together and try to exploit all the information and the different channels we can use. Now, I really believe that distributed AI, and in particular multi-agent AI systems, will play an increasingly important role in the future, in the near future and in the long-term future. And as George was saying before, it's becoming apparent that it's better to have more specialized agents that perhaps consume less energy, have information that can be private and not available everywhere, and try to take advantage of many and the appropriate ones, like exactly George has mentioned before. So actually our research started from George's idea and the system that he has started at MyBody.ai. And we developed it further in research and academic terms, ending up with a nice publication on the topic. And the important and interesting thing is that we are doing the research and the publication, but George and Kalimera and MyBody.ai is actually putting things to work. And they see the advantages of it, which is very nice, very interesting, and we don't see it often for research topics. I have worked many years in research. It's very difficult to push it to real life and to business and the market, in particular in the ways you have developed it. So I'm really happy that we are in close contact with George. The research that we did with George Xuan, and we ended up with a publication that is titled MAMA, a Decentralized Multi-Agent Model AI Framework for Dynamic Knowledge Acquisition and Orchestration. And the title is rather descriptive. That is, we try to orchestrate, put together the various agents and decide who from the available agents we need, in what order, who will be the orchestrator, the one that organizes and asks the other agents to do things, in what format, how much autonomously, and all this. So this is part of the research and the system that we have developed. And in particular, in this paper, we address the lack of trust and transparency among the agents and the inflexible task orchestration in the multi-agent systems that have been proposed up to now. For example, some initial systems expect only a predefined chain of agents, one after the other doing something specific. In what we design, things are much more general and much more dynamic. And we have proposed and are exploiting three key features. We have an agent expertise profile where we say essentially what kind of things an agent can do, and we keep track of this. We have a verifiable reputation ledger where this information can be recorded in a way that is tamper resistant and can be audited, because now the agents will not necessarily belong to the same company, to the same domain, maybe not even to the same continent or country. And therefore, who does what and what kind of results they provide should be kept in record. And if there is something that should not be, there is some kind of problem, we can figure out the responsibilities and really allocate this responsibility. And the last thing we have contributed is what we call expertise-driven routing. And essentially, this is also what George mentioned before, where essentially you decide which agents to involve and what exactly they should do with what data, etc. So with MAMA, this framework we have developed, we offer a blueprint for building adaptive, reliable, and scalable decentralized AI systems. And one of the things, one of the aspects that I haven't, and the features that I haven't stressed enough, but we have already seen it with George and we have discussed it, is that it provides robustness. So these systems run on the cloud, maybe on many clouds. There are potential problems that happen with internet communications, with specific hosts, etc. So with a dynamic orchestrator, you can easily address any problems that happen either in the infrastructure, the resources, the hardware, or even in the results. And you can check intermediate results, and if you don't like them, you can ask another agent to provide you a better result. And this is important also for safety in the sense of AI, okay? Because we know there are problems with some of the answers we get, so we need to essentially have guardrails to make sure that we have safe responses.
And this is what I was planning to ask you, and you lead me beautifully into my question, because you're a man, as we very well understand, that really knows what happens behind the scenes, right? Because we as customers or clients, business clients, see perhaps the interface, but you understand very much what happens in the technology, in the technical part of it all. But you talked about trustworthiness and reliability and building these robust systems, and you talked about this just mentioned about the guardrail. So tell us a little bit about this, because ethical AI, as we live in this world that, as George Chalkiadakis said earlier, we cannot really see the future in 5-10 years' time. We can only see what's happening in the next year, perhaps. And I'll ask you also if you have any ideas about the future trends, but tell us a little bit about the ethical use of AI, and can an AI system take such autonomous decisions, and what is really safe guarding the data and the decision making to protect, at the end of the day, the humans who interact with this technology?
Yes, so this is not the billion-dollar question. So I don't have a full answer, and nobody, I think, at this point. We all have concerns. On the other hand, we are looking and we are trying to get agents to behave autonomously, but hopefully we will have safety at various levels. So more and more large language models build various guardrails, various containment strategies so that bad things don't happen.
Professor, may I ask you this? What are the levels that you just mentioned? Levels. Tell us a little bit the levels. Would they be embedded into the systems, and how you're thinking, or companies like Kalimera.ai are thinking about the products they are producing, and then in the systemic guide rails and then guard rails? What are the levels?
So as I mentioned already, for example, in a single large language model, in a single head of an agent, we are starting to put safety features, guardrails, okay? And therefore, somehow these systems are a little bit more careful at what kind of answers or responses they provide, okay? We don't know how to be perfect at this level. And then with multi-agent AI, now we have many of those agents. And if you get many, the probability of having someone misbehaving increases further. So then we need guardrails at the level of the system. And so my project right now that I'm trying to push is how to develop the safe internet of agents, or the internet of safe agents. So it's at the beginning of trying to understand this. For distributed systems, one of the features we can have is some kind of monitoring. Also, having some control of the information that is provided to the agents and with which the agents can operate. This can help as well. And this is the area where data spaces, that is a European technology mostly, that is being pursued now, might play a role, and I'm trying to get it into the AI field as well. And companies like MyBuddy.ai and platforms like Kalimera.ai, the good ones try to get safety features in them soon. And the idea is to start working with this, including this early on, and not do an afterthought like security was introduced in the internet before.
Excellent. Professor, let me bring George Chalkiadakis into the studio. I saw him in the backstage nodding his head. So George Chalkiadakis, tell us a little bit, what's your take on this and how Kalimera.ai is really safeguarding and protecting the data and having their agents in check?
So because for us, we are first of all in communication, and communication has tremendous power, like understanding even your unique voice signature. For us, security is it's a mandate. So we have started with a series of certification, including 27001, the so-called DORA Act, so the 42001. And we are innovative in understanding, and we are creating models not only for, let's say, speech and all, but models that are safeguarding you. So yes, we have created our own models to understand if there is hallucination. And yes, believe me, you hear about a multi-billion company, but I can show you in 5 seconds how to create an answer. You will be shocked. It is something that is a tremendous challenge for us. We are innovative on that. And let's say, if I say what's the biggest feature of Kalimera.ai, it is that we have a very strong hallucination control mechanism, which is let's say, the biggest weakness of any AI system.
And the biggest hallucination control system. So is that another strong point, a selling point? Why would clients, everybody tuning in and listening now, should get in contact and choose Kalimera.ai?
It's like having a Ferrari without brakes. If you don't have those brakes, you will kill yourself. And
right.
That's the difference. Yes, it's not how fast you are. You are very fast. How nice is the voice? Yes, we have a HD type voice, and everybody says that. How good we understand difficult things like phone numbers, social insurance numbers, surnames, especially mixed Greek surnames with Turkish and more surnames. But let's say the thing that you never understand, and it's let's say the biggest investments, is how to protect yourself, because hallucination in AI, it's something as big the models are becoming, so frequent it's the hallucination you receive, and it will become very frequent in the next few months, because the models are increasing by 20 times or 100 times, depending on the type of the model.
George, you're the CEO of Kalimera.ai, and you have an impressive lineup of people on your board. So you work with really brilliant people that come from the academic world, from research, from the scientific community. You're yourself
from business. We have a very successful business.
And business, I was coming to that. You also understand personally, and the people you have surrounded you in the company are understanding both the business world and the real life applications and what it means for business, but also in the end users at the end of the day. And also what happens in a deep technical level with good insight and making, I think, very future-proof products. So tell us a little bit about what the future holds for Kalimera.ai.
So when we established Kalimera.ai, we set one target, which is transparency, and to be able to convert our company to a Nasdaq-listed company. And we are proceeding to that goal. I do hope within the next 2 years we achieve that goal. We are very close to achieve it. We have started our global sales, and yes, we are opening right now America. A very good, let's say, co-founder of mine and friend is right now, let's say, farming America. More than 12 different cities he's visiting right now. And we see huge challenges, but I would say, like to address, everybody thinks that America is a great market. For us, it's a fantastic market, India, some billions of customers. Fantastic market, China, also some billions of customers. Fantastic market, Africa, also a lot of this. So let's say, for us, we are global expanding, and we are very grateful to our partners. So for me, the biggest KPI is how many partners we have, which region footprint we get, and how many projects we have per region, per language. So those are the critical KPIs, and those are flourishing. And we do believe by achieving those goals, pretty soon we will be addressing the public, say, yes, we are the next public listed company, and would like your help to proceed to even bigger goals.
How about Professor Polyzos? What goals you have? You just talked previously about your upcoming research and the things you're passionate about. Would you like, for closure, to share your near future goals?
Yes, so develop further distributed AI, multi-agent AI systems, and the AI of safe agents, the Internet of Safe Agents, and collaborate with Kalimera.ai, with MyBody.ai, and see our results really get into real life, into real products, and have acceptance from the public. So this is really very interesting for me.
Is this, Professor Polyzos, the legacy that you want to leave behind, to be remembered as somebody who put a little step?
Yes, in a big company, yes.
How about George Chalkiadakis, the CEO of MyBody.ai, Kalimera.ai? Tell us a little bit about where can people listening to this and are excited on the topic, and perhaps they're looking for such a solution like the ones you're offering. Where can you be found? And I know you're a man that travels a lot. I know you're very exhausted as we speak, and thank you for taking the time to appear today and share your insights. Tell us, please, where people can find you and hear more and get to know you and ask the questions they want to.
So today we have reached a milestone. We have 46 persons globally around various locations. So you can find us in various offices, but you please visit Kalimera.ai, press contact us, and depending on the region, your language, somebody from our sales teams will contact you to address your needs. We are strongly looking for partners, especially in sectors that has a great impact. So we have a great impact in telcos right now, in healthcare, in finance, where we have a great help. And get ready, within February, everybody will be able to become a Kalimera buddy, because we will going to release it globally for everyone with some few euros per month. So affordable, even a Hindi plumber can buy it. That's our goal, to provide a solution for all humanity, and to give that ability to everyone, independent of the region and the language. And we are close to achieve those goals.
And George, someone tells me that you will be attending the Web Summit coming up in November.
Yes. So we have a full-blown, let's say, exhibition plans. So our next milestone, it is Web Summit. You can visit us in Pavilion 2 in booth E257. where my team will be able to answer any of your needs and questions. And of course, we can create online or other meetings if needed before and after the Web Summit. And then you can find us in Mumbai, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Chennai in November, and you will find us in Dallas, Austin, San Francisco, Bay Area, and New York in January.
Excellent. So you are very busy. I wish you all the best. I already feel that you're on the right track to success and skyrocketing success. I would like to thank you for your time and insights. Thank you, Professor George Polyzos. Thank you for your time, Professor, and the CEO and co-founder of Kalimera.ai, George Chalkiadakis. He's ready to...
Thank you, Chryssa.
With Mr. Polyzos, we are presenting in November in IEEE conference, in the best conference for AI models, the MAMA technology. If you are really deep in scientists, we can reveal more information about science and what's that. And that's as many as we work in the same scientific sector, it will benefit humanity. So please check it. We believe it's a nice path to make a greater AI.
Greater AI, safer AI, the sky is the limit. You're in good hands, everybody, tuning in and listening. Professor George Polyzos and George Chalkiadakis, as you heard already, I think you know that the men I just spoken with know what they're talking about, and they have a good head on their shoulders. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for being with me.
Thank you, Chryssa.
Thank you. Professor Polyzos was here in the studio with me, going now to continue in China, and George Chalkiadakis was in Greece. I'm here in Finland. I'll see you in another episode, in our upcoming episode of Voice AI Insights. If you're interested in the topic, stay tuned. We have great episodes and great guests coming up for you. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.